Sometimes leaks pop up on the internet and I'm like, wow, that's pretty stupid. But what ends up happening is people start questioning it. People start talking about it. People start making articles and YouTube videos on the subject matter at hand. And sometimes I have to come along and be like, I wouldn't put much stock into that. Obviously, at the beginning of the year, there's not a whole hell of a lot happening when it comes to video game news or games to review. I know I said I'm going to review more games in 2023. I am going to review more games in 2023. I'm going to talk about more classic stuff too, but we have to fill in the gaps here, people, okay? The ad rev in January is absolutely terrible. That's why your favorite YouTuber takes off the whole month of January, not because they need a break, but because none of us are making money out here. But I genuinely enjoy making videos. I think it's fun, and you know, it's just something to do during the daytime, so I don't feel like a complete worthless idiot. But we've been talking a lot about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom because that's obviously Nintendo's big game for 2023. Arguably the biggest game that they'll release in 2023, maybe the biggest game of the year of 2023. Now, recently we've talked about a couple different rumors, potential leaks that have been floating around the internet, and I still feel like both of those are true. We of course talked about The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom potentially having online play, and this kind of does touch into the online play aspect of it. I don't necessarily think it's going to be the way that this is described, but I definitely think this game will have some sort of online component in it. Probably not a one-to-one co-op experience or something like that, but something a little bit different because Nintendo does seem to be dipping their toes more so into the online stuff instead of just making a single-player game with really no sort of online component of it. We also, of course, talked about the Nintendo Switch OLED model that looks like it's going to come out around the time of Tears of the Kingdom. I think both of those are 100% accurate. This thing though, no, just no. The source of the rumor, the image that's leaked looks terrible. When you translate it, things don't really get all that much more interesting. But like I said, people are talking about this. People are making videos on this. People are tweeting about it. They're making website articles about it. So I have to come along and give you guys a dose of reality. Now, this is coming to us from 4chan. I'm not one to immediately discredit 4chan, however, because 4chan actually accurately had the Nintendo Switch presentation before we knew it was called the Nintendo Switch back in the Nintendo NX days, a few days before the Switch presentation actually happened and we got the first look at the system and the lineup of games. So I'm not immediately going to discredit 4chan, but I am going to discredit this rumor. This is potentially coming to us from an Italian gentleman who lives in Italy and works at GameStop. Now, I am an Italian, so if I make some race-related jokes for Italians, what is it? It's not really a race, is it? More of a creed? I don't know. But if I say something bad about Italians, I'm allowed to say that because these are my people. I could show you my chest hair and you would see just how Italian I am.
Present them.
But evidently, GameStop in Italy is going to be handing out these flyers for the upcoming Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Now let's look at the flyer in question. All right, so here's the alleged flyer, and just right off the bat, like, I have so many problems with this because it's ridiculous. Now this all looks fine. You know, this obviously is just the standard PR image that we've been seeing for The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, where he's looking over the ledge. I wish you would step back from that ledge, my Link. But you know, he's checking it out, man. He's seeing what's going on in the world. There's a volcano, there's some island over here. Maybe he'll jump, maybe he won't. You don't know. It's Link's decision on whether or not to do that. But here's where things get a bit wonky. So we have a Nintendo Switch Online logo here, and then in a different color red we have some gibberish. I'm just kidding, it's the Italian language, which we'll read what it translates to in just a second. And then we have a different color of this is more of a maroon, and then we have another color of maroon. We have these odd looking arrows that really don't make sense. Like, why would there be an arrow in between these two things? Why is there an arrow pointing to this and it's really pointing to absolutely nothing? So right off the bat here, your skepticism should be off the charts because this looks like, I don't know, some kid made it in his basement and he was bored one night. But like I said, the world of rumors, they latch onto anything and people want to talk about it. So I have to come and try to make some clarity of the situation. Now, what does this Italian gibberish text say? Grandma, if you watch this video, don't get mad at me. I never learned Italian. You could speak it though. So I should go to my grandma and ask her, but I'll just use Google Translate. According to Google Translate, it says interact with other players by leaving them resources, tears of the realm, and written messages. Explore the regenerating farmhouses with the help of a friend in online co-op, and share the loot via members exclusive shared exploration mode. keep your adventure data safe with Save Data Cloud. Now there's something that roughly translates to additional package, but I'm going to assume that that means expansion pack because I just, sort of the schematics of it when you're translating stuff. Nintendo Switch Online plus booster pack members, aka expansion pack members, have access to exclusive Sky Chest, Hyrule Lockbox, and more. So looking over all that stuff and then going back to the image, I think there are some things that are somewhat rooted in reality here, because I do think there is going to be at least some sort of online component. And, we've theorized about other sorts of different ways that they can implement online. The one-to-one co-op, I just don't think that really works, but something like a Souls-like mechanic, where players could potentially invade your version of the game, or you could leave certain items for people, or potentially leave certain messages, like in, Souls game. I think that's something that could be potentially explored here, dropping items for particular people. If you want to do something like that, once again, I think that that's something that could be potentially done with this. The problem with it is all of this sounds somewhat realistic, but the presentation is kind of what matters here. And nothing about this image, which we're going to put back up on the screen here, nothing about this image screams to me professional, because there is no real Nintendo logo on here. There's no GameStop logo on here. So did Nintendo make this, or is GameStop making this? And most importantly, why would you have promotional material for this game in January before we've even got any real concrete information on the game? You could sit there and say, RGT, it's a little bit odd that Nintendo's been so mum about this game, and I would completely agree with you. If we were in like February or the end of February or March or something like that, because let's be real, there's going to be a whole big presentation for Tears of the Kingdom. They're going to do a dedicated Nintendo presentation to it where they explain the game, they show off the game, they show you what's going to be new in this versus Breath of the Wild, what's changed within the world, what new abilities Link has, will Zelda play a role in the game, is there any sort of online component to it? They're going to explain all that in due time. They still have plenty of time. This game isn't coming out until May, so it's not like they really need to rush or anything like that. And it seems like more and more game companies are sort of, I wouldn't say dragging their feet, but sort of building up anticipation for this game, because let's be real, once we actually know what this game offers, sure, we're going to have some things to talk about, but I feel like the speculation and the build up to everything and sort of leading up to the events of what this game is going to be is what adds a lot of fun to it, because it's fun to talk about leaks. It's fun to talk about rumors, and you always have to go in with a mindset of, this may be true, this may not be true, but it's fun to theorize. It's fun to discuss these things, and people that get mad about leak and rumor videos and stuff, if that's the worst thing that's happening in your life, you're like, damn it, I watched some video on YouTube and I thought this might be a real thing, but it appears that it is not. Like, damn, bro, you got an awesome life. That's your biggest problem right now? Let me tell you about my problems. Property taxes, vehicle taxes, quarterly taxes. Tax man's coming for RGT in the month of January. Anyways, let me know what you think of this in the comment section down below. Do you believe Giuseppe, Geppetto here, our Italian friend with this advertisement, or do you think it's just a load of bullshit? Because I definitely do. I think this ad is 100% fake, but I think you can take away some things from this ad and potentially put them into reality, because I think these are things that could potentially happen with Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, or maybe, who knows, maybe it'll just be a strictly single player thing. I just don't have that feeling with it, though. I think there is going to be some sort of online component to it, kind of like a Souls game. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. We're on the road to 500,000 subscribers. That's all I want. I want 500,000 by the end of this year, and then I'll be happy. And I'll never tell you to subscribe again, because I won't care. I'll have no reason to talk about subscribing, because I'll have my 500,000, and that's all I want. I'm an easy man to please. Ask your mother. And as always, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.